All right, guys, I found the transcripts. I was trying to find the transcripts yesterday and I didn't find it, but now we got them. We got the transcripts when they yeeted Barlow out of the courtroom. And I'm going to reread some of the other parts that I kind of skipped around yesterday. I got all my notes organized. We have a couple days ahead of sidebars I'm going to read through, but hello, how is everyone? I accidentally hit the stream button on my Twitch. So initially, I already filmed this kind of intro part. But we went to the wrong website. So now we're on the right website. We're on YouTube right now. And hi, how is everyone doing today? How's it going? I'm trying to shake right now. I'm debating on whether or not to blast my AC a little bit more. Getting kind of hot here. Hello. Hi, Nacho. Nacho, did you see my stream on Twitch? I actually streamed on Twitch by accident. And then I looked at my YouTube. I was like, why is the stream not popping up on YouTube? See, you have a little clip in the... I do? Oh, no. Fun. How was my face? Hi, B. How are you doing today? Hi, Maxell. I have not seen any of the Depp Heard documentaries that they made. I haven't watched any of them. I know there was one that was also made like somewhere in like the EU, I think, but I haven't seen the Netflix one. I haven't seen any of them. I mean, honestly, they're probably like, most of them are probably just like more teetering on the side of pro Heard and like, oh my God, people didn't give her a chance. Everyone made fun of her. Oh, boo, poor her. She was bullied online. The people who covered it didn't get any. They didn't do any due diligence. They didn't do any like research or anything. But I feel like the Depp v. Heard stuff, a lot of people did their own fucking research, and a lot of people watched the trials as it happened each day. Honestly, I like seriously got into it. Like the first couple of days when I was watching the trial, I was like playing Elden Ring, just listening to the testimonies. I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting, you know, celebrities, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't until I found Nick Wallace's website and he uploaded the entirety of the UK transcripts were all on there. And I was reading through each one and they're going through the testimonies, the police officers, all of her friends, all the staff, people that weren't really like part of their friend group, you know, like staff who worked in the building and stuff like that, housekeepers. And I was like, dude, I can't believe no one's talking about this. I can't believe how fucked over Johnny Depp was. This was when I didn't know that people were covering it on YouTube and stuff. I just thought that no one really was covering this. And I was like, dude, I can't believe like Johnny Depp is getting fucked. And I remember taking screenshots. I was like, should I just cover this? Like, this is some really fucked shit. But yeah, I think this case was one of the most researched cases because there was just so many documents out there. And it helps at the trial. There was a UK one that already happened. So yeah, it was wild. I haven't watched any of the docs. I seen some YouTube thumbnails though, of other YouTubers talking about it, and it seems like they're all kind of just rolling their eyes. And I've seen some headlines on like some news articles and stuff, but yeah, that's about it. Wait, it's comical. Is it one of those things where they release all the episodes, or did they release like, are they doing one of those things where it's like, oh, we released like episode 1 and then like 2 weeks, episode 2 and then episode 3? How are they doing it? Because Netflix used to be one of those things where they release all the episodes at once. But I noticed that depending on what series you watch, some of them it's like weekly series. Like right now I'm watching one of the anime that they have on there, and it's a weekly series release. It's episodic. So does that mean they're releasing it episode by episode? Oh God. In the clip they used at the bottom, it was your Twitch and YouTube name blasted at the bottom. Oh, interesting. Maybe take a screenshot in Discord. But yeah, I haven't watched it. I haven't watched any of the stuff. I was gonna meme watch. Oh, I just see the Discord messages. I was gonna meme watch the. You guys hear about the Depp Heard trial? They did like a whole like what's it called? Like they hired actors, actresses to act in it, and yeah, I was gonna watch that just like for the shits and memes because it looked really silly. I would be wearing white when I spill chocolate on my shirt. Amazing. A reenactment. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I'm sorry. Oh, we got chocolate on our shirt. Oh my God. No. Should we change? Oh my God. Oh, what are we thinking? How do you get chocolate out of white? This is why I don't wear white. Oh God. It feels so embarrassing. Hi Joe, how are you doing today? Is it bad? I can if I hunch like this, you can't really see it. Do you guys know how many episodes it is? All right, I can see the where is the chat? Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the chat really quick because you guys look like ants right now. Give me 1 second. It's hideous. I have to avert my eyes. Go wash immediately. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I changed my shirt. No! This is why I don't like wearing light colors. Howdy, hello. Oh yeah, Steve says hi. He's just chilling behind me, you know? He's just hanging out, taking a little nappy, and he's probably judging all of us right now. He's certainly judging me for spilling chocolate on my shirt. Hi Tam, how are you doing today? How's it going? How is everyone? I hope you guys are doing well. Hi Valerie, how's it going? Okay, so I accidentally streamed on the Twitch channel instead, and then I was like, "Where is everyone?" And I was like, "Oh, I think we're on Twitch right now." Hold on, let me just finish this real quick so I don't spill it anymore. During the civil trial, Elaine gave the impression of bumbling incompetence. It's difficult to believe that age was amongst the best of the money Amber could buy. I think Elaine overworked herself. I think she truly did. I think she took on way more than she can handle. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the Depp team, they did a really good job at kind of segmenting, each section, each witnesses, like different attorneys, because there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of research. I think Elaine thought she can handle it. I don't know. Maybe she wanted more limelight. I don't know. But yeah, I think she took on way too much. Way too much. Because remember, she did the 3-day direct examination of Amber Heard. I think she even did Don Hughes as well. And I think that was like, yeah. Wasn't that like a couple days like in a row? I don't know. It's tough. And then she did the cross examinations. She took on a lot of work. And I think maybe she thought she was like really well versed because, she's already like, actually, hold on a second. No, because yeah, it must have been really hard because remember, Elaine inherited this case from other lawyers. Amber Heard had other lawyers, didn't go through. And then Elaine eventually inherited this. And then, yeah, she probably had so much to catch up on. And maybe her firm, I don't know. I don't know why she didn't utilize like other like associate attorneys. Maybe she like didn't trust them. Maybe she just wanted to do all the work herself. Maybe she has control issues. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, if you guys remember reading the emails between like the Depp, what's it called? The Brown Rudnick firm and Elaine and her team, it was just mostly just Elaine going back and forth. And then like you didn't really see like You see Ben Chu and Vasquez like popping into emails here and there, but it was mostly like they had the associates handle it. I don't know if Elaine had associates to help her out or if she wanted them to help her out or anything like that. Netflix struck Popcorn Planet for streaming the video of Andy meeting Johnny that they stole from him. Wait. What? Wait, okay, hold on. Let me read this correctly. So, Popcorn Planet uploaded a video of him meeting Johnny Depp. And then when Popcorn Planet streamed that segment, Netflix gave him like did one of those like copyright strikes. Is that what happened? I'm actually not sure how that works, huh? Because it's like his content in an embedded layer of another copyright content. Oh God, that's really interesting. Well, Dan, that is a little hilarious. And I'm assuming Netflix didn't ask him to use the footage or anything. They kind of just took it. Hi, Moondog. How are you doing today? Wait, okay, I do want to do a poll. Can we do a poll really quick then? I'm going to do an informal poll. 1 in chat if you watched the Netflix thing. 2 in chat if you have not seen the Netflix thing. 3 in chat if you're like, what Netflix thing? I'm a 2. I have not seen it. I don't know if I will. I didn't really have any intentions to. There was like other docs that they made as well. I don't know. I feel like it's all just Team Herd trying to maybe rewrite the narrative or something, which I don't know. It's going to be really hard to do. I mean, honestly, you just take your losses and you just kind of GTFO, right? Just gracefully leave. 3. Joe, I thought you said you did watch it. But what is the 4? They didn't have his permission. Oh, man. That's very interesting. Wait, hold on. 1 was you did watch it, right? So Katrina, you watched it? Most of you guys did not watch it. Some 3s are like, what is that? They did it to Tug too. Did Tug do a live stream or something? Or did they do a live stream and then just watch bits and pieces of the Netflix stuff? Interesting. Interesting. Hold on. Nacho, I saw your message. Where did you put it? What is this? Oh, you DM'd me. This is like, I think this is my TikTok clip thing. Oh yeah, I see. Okay, that's my TikTok. Ooh, that lighting right there. Discord was the first time I heard about it. They showed you on it. Oh no. All right, guys. Well, anyways, I mean, we haven't really talked about the Depp Heard stuff in a very long time. Ever since they had their, well, Amber Heard tried to, she wanted to appeal it. She hired, like some big ol', some big wig attorneys. And I think they were going to try to go for like the First Amendment, freedom of speech. But then they decided to drop it and settle, which I think was good. I think it was a good thing that they did that. And I think she paid Johnny Depp like $1 million, right? I don't know if she did it or not yet. You're over Amber's shenanigans. I mean, as soon as they didn't want to go for the appeal, I was like, yeah, that's about it. There's not really much to talk about. But I do want to talk about these transcripts because, it's kind of nice to see what happens behind the scene. And when I say behind the scene, it's more just like, these are all the sidebars. During when we were watching the trial, we didn't really have, we couldn't listen. We couldn't hear what was going on. I think they either muted the audio or they played like white noise. I don't remember what they did. I think they just muted the audio actually. But yeah, we're going to continue reading some of these transcripts. I have my notes this time, so it's a little bit more organized. But yesterday I was trying to find the part where Eve Barlow was kicked out of the courtroom. So if you guys remember, Eve Barlow was sitting where the legal team was supposed to sit. That was the first row. Judge Penny had ordered that first row, or I think the first 2 rows, were meant for the legal team, and family members would have to sit behind there. But for some reason, Eve Barlow was sitting in the first row. I think she had like her laptop out or something, or her phone out. She was like live tweeting, apparently, they said. And when Gina Duders was on the stand, when she was giving her testimony, Eve Barlow gave, one of the associates that gave it to, it ended up giving it to Roddenborn, like a screenshot of Gina talking about a trial and making a statement about it. Roddenborn brings it up in the middle of Gina's testimony. And then Judge Penny decides to just talk to Gina, excuse the jury out, talk to Gina, was like, oh, hey, have you seen any clips of the trial? And she's like, yeah, I've seen clips. And then so she's like, okay, you're excused. But then they end up finding out that Eve Barlow took a screenshot of a very old like Instagram post. I think it was maybe a comment towards what's the UK trial maybe. And so, you know, the Depp team, they were kind of like blindsided, you know, it was kind of like bum rushed. And the next day they were like, they found out that they were like, the post was actually really old and it wasn't like Gina was like, you know, like simultaneously like tweeting about it or anything like that. So I found the transcript. This is on the Nick Wallace website and let's read over it. Oh, you ever read her Nothing Doodles? There's a clip where her male lawyer has a facial expression of straight up disgust at the moronic shenanigans. Are you talking about Nadelhoff? Nadelhoff was pretty funny. Nadelhoff, like, I don't know if you just like read his like body language, his facial reactions and expressions. He was a kind of a funny guy to kind of like look at. I felt like he was just over it. And he's like, God, please get me out of here. I'm just going to do the best that I can. But as soon as I'm done with this, I am GTFO. Hey, Storm, how are you doing today? How's it going? All right, so let's start off with the transcript right here. Again, shout out to Nick Wallace's website. He's got a website where he posted all the transcripts as well. And then he's got some extra stuff on here. So this was on April 15th. And we've already covered the transcripts. But I think I might read bits and pieces of it. Okay, so they decide to do like, I don't know, maybe like a sort of like emergency preliminary hearing with Judge Penny. This was on a Friday at 10 a.m. I think the day after Gina Deuters was kicked off the stand or removed off the stand. Yeah, I think they got tired of her near the end. It was funny though. I started feeling so bad for Elaine. I really did. Yeah, I felt really bad for her. But then when she was, you know, doing the press tour stuff, you know, on behalf of her client, of course, I was just like, oh, I couldn't just help but just really just roll my eyes. You've read his name. I bet he showered for hours after each court. They had an exorcist stop by. All right, y'all, let's get to the court. The court. Okay, we got the court reporter. All right, is this your matter? Mr. Chu. Yes, Your Honor. Very briefly. Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Ben Chu. Have you sworn in? I apologize. The court. Raise your hand. Please stand for me. I just can't see you. Thank you. The court reporter was duly sworn in. The court. Sorry, I apologize. Thank you. Mr. Chu. Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Ben Chu for Johnny Depp. I have a preliminary matter, but it's a very serious one. The court. Okay. It won't take too much time. The court. Okay. Mr. Chu. May we approach the court? Yes, sir. Mr. Chu, Your Honor, we're moving, or Mr. Depp is moving for the permanent exclusion of Eve Barlow from the court. Eve Barlow? Who's Eve Barlow? Who's Eve Barlow? Judge Patty already forgot who that person was. Mr. Chu, Eve Barlow was a journalist and Miss Heard's current girlfriend who was sitting in the front row, the court. Okay. Mr. Chu, yesterday, and the court ordered to the back row, and then she was later, as I was discussing in a minute, thrown out at 4:31 p.m. by Lieutenant Porter. But if I could explain to the court, okay, what the court is seeing, you'll recall yesterday, Mr. Roddenborn came up with what was with Miss Barlow's phone. Okay. And he showed you the first document that you're looking at, the shorter version. Right. The text. This is the text from Miss Deuters, Gina Deuters. We understand that she was properly excluded, but this is what he showed, Your Honor, saying to the court, representing to the court, that Miss Deuters had texted since the start of the trial. And Your Honor will see that Mr. Roddenborn showed you did not have the date. Oh, that is sketchy. Sketchy. If you look at the second document, you will see, Your Honor, I'm sorry, it's an Instagram post. It's an Instagram post. So Mr. Roddenborn, the court, it's not like I would know the difference, but I thank you for your clarification. Ms. Myers, you're welcome. Mr. Chu. Oh, wait, was this Myers that popped in? Oh, no, still Ben Chu. Okay. Ben Chu. I didn't, given my age, but so what Mr. Roddenborn showed you was Ms. Deuters' Instagram post without the date. Wait, random sidebar question. Does Ben Chu have an Instagram? I'm just curious. Does he have an Instagram? I don't know, man. A lot of adults be making Instagram accounts nowadays. My mom tried making one, but I think she gave up because she was like, I don't get this. I'm going back to Instagram. I don't like this. The only person she seemed to have a close relationship on her team was Roddenborn, even though he had to grasp the straws in closing because he knew the jury knew that she was lying, a liar who lies. I know a lot of people don't like Roddenborn, but I think he was a competent lawyer. I liked him. But I didn't like that he was representing Amber Heard, but I did like him. Hey, y'all. Hi, Mariah. How are you doing today? How's it going? Hello, hello. Damn it, you know I'm one of them. What, one of the Instagram people? Mr. Chu. That was very disturbing. We believe it was a fraud upon the court. We believe that Mr. Roddenborn, as an officer of the court, should have taken a look at what he was handing up to the court, especially since it was handed to him by someone improperly sitting in the first row, a reporter and Ms. Heard's girlfriend. And that's not where it ends, Your Honor, unfortunately. Ms. Barlow has been passing notes to and from Ms. Heard from the beginning of trial, and she's been sending out live tweets throughout the trial. The court. Is she still sending out tweets? Mr. Chu. She was, as of 4:31 p.m. yesterday, when she was removed by the court. If I may approach, I'll do it one more time. This was Ms. Barlow's post during Ms. Vasquez's opening, and you'll see her, the court. So she was tweeting from the courtroom? Mr. Chu. She was tweeting in the courtroom. She was sitting right there tweeting during Ms. Vasquez's opening. Your Honor may remember that Ms. Vasquez said that Ms. Heard would be giving the performance of her lifetime. So she says in real time, actually, it was Vasquez who was giving the performance of a lifetime of her lifetime. Oh, wow, throwing them shots. So this is contemporaneous with my colleague's opening. She's live tweeting and she's getting it all out in the public. And finally, this is the last time, I'm sorry. Your Honor will remember that when we first raised the issue, Your Honor ordered people to the back. So Ms. Barlow reluctantly left the first seat and went to the back. And this was the tweet that got her thrown out the last time. It says, what does Amber Heard hope to achieve? She has a gorgeous 1-year-old daughter, and she said that she was beginning this rest of my life in 2021, 12 months after her mother died. It was at this point that Lieutenant Porter saw her violating the court's order and asked her to leave. Now, Your Honor, if this was just an isolated, well, actually, I'll take that back. It's more, the court interrupts. If you violate the order, you violate the order. Mr. Chu, it's more than enough to get her thrown out permanently, but it takes place in context. Your Honor will remember the inappropriate disclosure of sexual assault violations and violations of a protective order, perhaps more egregiously when people weren't on participating by WebEx in this one. 2 days before the trial, Ms. Heard posted on Instagram her opening argument. I just choked on my spit for a second there. Hi, Roscoe. How are you doing today? He had his moments of being a good lawyer, but he was heavily overshadowed by him being shady, sneaky, sometimes outright childish. Yeah, he was very Your Honor. He was very, you can tell he was a bit petulant at times. Yeah, definitely huffing. Oh, okay. I feel like sometimes the judge is just like a babysitter of a bunch of children lawyers, you know? Okay, guys, all right. You sit in that timeout corner. You go over here. You sit out over there. Don't look at each other. Don't talk to each other. Don't touch each other. Dude, I love to wear white too. I literally get something on as soon as I wear it. I know. I literally just put the shirt on. This is why I don't like wearing colors. 2 days before the trial, Ms. Heard posted on Instagram her opening argument. And I understand none of the juries referred to it, but she made it very clear in her Instagram post that Mr. Depp names wasn't mentioned in her op-ed, which was the primary feature of Mr. Roddenborn's opening. That was really egregious. Then, during my opening, to try to throw me off, Ms. Bredehoff made an improper objection saying, and she tried to mention it. The point is, Your Honor, the court's order must mean something. We're trying to play by rules here, and it's just outrageous what Ms. Barlow has done. She was thrown out yesterday, and all we're asking, with a very limited form of relief, is that she's barred from attending the rest of the trial. The court. All right, Ms. Bredehoff. ELAINE. Thank you, Your Honor. I absolutely had no idea what was going on, that he was going to raise this morning. So I'm going to respond to it cold. First of all, Eve Barlow is not a journalist. Second of all, she's not Ms. Heard's. The court. Well, I really don't care about all of that. She was live tweeting in my courtroom. This is 4:31. ELAINE. I don't know about that, Your Honor. The court. Well, I do. I can read it. 4:31 on April 14th, 2022. ELAINE. I know she. The court. And I know the deputies took her out because she was texting. That's against the court order. I don't like anybody. If I find anybody else texting, they don't get to come back in. So why would she be able to come back in? Ms. Bredehoff. And I have no knowledge of this, Your Honor. She's not even arguing. She's just reacting at this point. Come on, Elaine, get it together. It's 10 o'clock a.m. You should have had your coffee by now. The court. And I know you didn't, and I understand that. And I mean, like I say, when people were passing notes, I thought, well, legal team. That's why I gave you the first row, because of legal teams. And then more information comes into me, bits and pieces, that it's not the legal team. Okay, so move back. Ms. Bredhoff. And then the court. But then she's still texting. So Elaine, and let me back up just a little bit. Ms. Barlow was not here during the opening. She was not present in the courtroom. And so the court. Well, she was present when she did this live tweet in my courtroom. Elaine, and that may be, Your Honor. I have no knowledge of it. I have no knowledge of it. And I have no way to address that, Your Honor. The court. Well, I do. Ms. Barlow is not coming back to the courtroom during this trial. Elaine. Okay. The court. Okay. Ms. Elaine. All right. Thank you, Your Honor. The court. Thank you. Mr. Chu. Thank you, Your Honor. There was also there's another transcript that I have to find. I thought it was going to be in here. So essentially, maybe it's in the future trials, but Eve Barlow got thrown out, I guess. She can't come back in, but then she kind of sneaks back in because she comes with Amber Heard's entourage. You know how like they have like a separate entrance that they go through? Apparently she goes through that separate entrance. And then the Depp lawyers are like, excuse me, she's still coming in. And then I think, I don't know, Judge Penny addresses it to Elaine, and I'm going to have to find that. If anyone knows where that is and which day of the transcript, let me know so I can just get a heads up for it. But I thought it was kind of funny. So yeah, there's a motion right here. So upon consideration of plaintiff's motion to exclude Eve Barlow from the courtroom for the pendency of the trial, so the motion is granted. So she's not allowed back into the courtroom. Man, naughty rule breakers. Were they just, maybe they weren't clear. I don't know. I can't imagine Judge Penny not being clear about the rules. I feel like Judge Penny, when she has her rulings and stuff like that, she is very fucking clear. And when she talks to you, her speech is very clear. Most adults are children. Lol, hi, by the way. Oh, dude, I was on the phone with Dennis and he was at the rent-a-car center, and this adult comes in and he talks to the front desk guy and he's like, hey, I want to book a car. Can I just book it here? And the guy at the desk was like, oh, if you book it online, it will probably be cheaper rates for you. So maybe you should just do it. And he's like, you just said you don't want to help me? You don't want to fucking help me? And I could hear him yelling in the background. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on over there? I don't know, man. Some people just, I get it, you're maybe having a bad day. You got a lot going on. But, dude, I don't know. If you're going to flip out on someone, it better be something that's over something that's worth it, Not just because you can't control your fucking angers or your emotion. Jesus. Elaine playing dumb. She's trying to girl boss her way through this trial. I wish they had the bottle testify. No, thank you. We don't want to hear from the bottle. Man. All right, y'all. That's what we got. And then, so at this point, Eve Barlow is not in the courtroom anymore, which really sucks for her. I don't know, really sucks for her. And it doesn't look good for Amber Heard. We're going to go to April 5th, and I might need my glasses, actually. I need my glasses. Okay. Time for glasses, y'all. Glasses Corgi coming out. Grandma Corgi. All right, y'all. Grandma Corgi's here. I'm going to try to, let's see. I'll try to zoom in some parts if you guys want to read it along with me, but I'll read it for you. Okay? You guys just have me in the background. You're saying that you don't want to fucking help me? Well, first off, sir, simmer down. And second, now that is the case. I know. I think it'll be really fun if, you know what streamers should do? I don't know. Maybe it'll be chaos. I think it'll be really fun if we all kind of went back and worked in retail, if you're an adult in your 30s, 40s, 50s, go back and work in retail, or work in the restaurant industry, or fast food or something like that, and then deal with some of these customers. I don't know. When I was working, in those settings in my early 20s, I was just really fucking nice. I was just so fucking nice. You could be an asshole to me, and I was just like, okay, cool. This doesn't faze me. And go to the back room. They're so mean to me. I'm traumatized. But yeah, I think it would be fun. All right, y'all, where are we at? So we are at open court. Okay, so this I did read yesterday, but I skimmed through it. I do want to read it because I do think it's pretty interesting. I do apologize for skipping through it. So we have 12:48. We got open court. What do we got going on here? We got, let's see, Dr. Kipper rates Nadelhoff versus Jessica Myers, the island fight. Okay, so at this point, I think Dr. Kipper might be on, well, it was a video deposition, I believe, with Dr. Kipper. And they're talking about evidence being put in and the rates that Dr. Kipper was being paid. Dr. Kipper doesn't want his rates to be out there. Nadelhoff and their team, they want to put the evidence out there that shows maybe not his like line to line rates, but his overall rate and how many hourly, what his hourly was and stuff like that. But based on, if you like divide the numbers, you can probably figure out what his hourly rate is. And it's probably just a really high number and he probably doesn't want people to know about that. So let's just read a little bit about it. All right. So again, Justin Myers is the attorney for Amber Heard. No, sorry. Jessica Myers is the lovely attorney from Johnny Depp's side. She's the one with the curly brown hair. And then Nadelhoff is the guy that I think he's a funny guy. I like him because he just makes all his facial expressions behind the scenes. But when he was actually, he was kind of like, no, actually, he huffed and puffed more than Roddenborn did. I think I'm getting them mixed up. Nadelhoff was the one that did a lot of huffing and puffing and like stamping away and stuff like that. But, I found him entertaining. Okay. The court. All right. Are we ready for the jury? Mr. Chu. Yes, Your Honor. The court. Ms. Brederhoff, are you ready for the jury? Are you ready for the jury? Elaine. Yes. Wait, are we at the right? Yes. Okay. Hold on a second. 12:48. Go back to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is a couple of pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth page. Okay. And 17. All right. Dr. Kipper's rate. The court. All right. I just want to make sure that with these exhibits from the last that we're going to get them somehow into evidence or redacted copies. Do we have them now or do we need them? Jessica. I have a hard copy, Your Honor, of our copy before we turned in. The court. Not for the newest deposition, for the one that we had with Dr. Kipper. Jessica. Yes, I have the exhibits. Okay. Mr. Nadelhoff. There's just one thing, Your Honor. There's a disagreement on if we can address it either now or later. The court. Okay. Which do you have a disagreement on? Might as well just do it now before we get to the next deposition. Jessica. Sure. The exhibit is the invoice from Dr. Kipper. The court. What number is it? Jessica. Oh, I'm sorry. It is Nadelhoff. 1067, defendant's exhibit 1067. Jessica. That's correct. And we have no objections to the documents coming in. The court. Okay. It's just that we have disagreements about the redactions. The court. All right. You want to come forward and then we'll take a look at and you said 1067, correct? Nadelhoff. Correct, Your Honor. Sidebar time. So, Mr. Nadelhoff. So we made the redactions on the exhibit, the court, right? Mr. Nadelhoff. So there's totals at the bottom of each, and we don't have an issue with. They want these redacted, which are that adds up to the total. We don't think they should be redacted because it's a business record. There's no reason. The court. All right. What's the reason to redact them? Jessica. Your Honor, this is a financial record of the third party and Dr. Kipper's deposition. His attorney objected strenuously to the level of redaction on these. And like I said, I have no objection to the total amounts coming in, but this sort of private information, how much he charges for each services, Nadelhoff. And it isn't like the nursing supervision that's actually, I think the jury should understand how it came out in the final total. And that's really no reason. The court, what's the relevance of how it came out in the final total? I just want to know where you're coming from. Nadelhoff. So he testified he saw the nurses every day. I think it's relevant for the jury to see that it was $75,000 a month and I think it's all relevant to see how it add up so they can see what the totals are. The court. All right. I'll allow it. That's fine. Ms. Myers. I'm sorry, Your Honor. The court. I'll allow it. Ms. Myers. Other than the nursing services, could we redact that? Nadelhoff. There's really nothing personal here. Ms. Myers. Look, I just don't feel comfortable because it's a third party and I know there was an objection by Dr. Kipper's counsel. The court. What are you really concerned about? Jessica. I know that personally I'm just expressing what Dr. Kipper's counsel expressing to us during the deposition, which was that this is financial information that's protected under California law, and he objected to the itemized services that reflected the cost per service. Nadelhoff. The jury I don't think it's giving away any secrets. The court. I guess you can say how many hours you can figure out the hourly rate. I see the document as his hourly rate. I can see that as being an issue. Is it really that relevant, his hourly rate? It could. Did you possibly just wanted to have what was over there possibly? Nadelhoff. How many hours and then just not give the rate? Jessica. I'll stand on the position, but I do accept that we should have some redactions. The court. If we take out some of the hours, then it's yes. Jessica. But leave the number in the services. Yeah. Mr. Nadelhoff. The column on each page. The court. Okay, is this fine? Nadelhoff says yes. Court says all right, let's do that. Nadelhoff will get back to them to you. Court says all right. And ELAINE, Your Honor, may I approach? Oh, this is the one where she complains about juror number, I think number 25. So we already covered this yesterday. ELAINE is concerned because she thinks there's a juror who is saying good morning, Mr. Depp, or waving to Mr. Depp, or smiling at Mr. Depp. And they're kind of going back and forth about this. And at some point, they finally, this juror does get dismissed, because I was wondering, are they ever going to talk to this juror to like not say hi, not say anything, or maybe ELAINE is exaggerating. But at some point, they do get rid of this juror. So let's go over here. Okay, so we're going to go to the juror right now. This is like Vampire the Masquerade, but with legal jargon. Hi, Toy Box, how are you doing today? How's it going? Did y'all hear about Netflix striking Popcorn Planet? Yeah, someone in chat just told me. They striked him on a clip but it was actually his clip to begin with that he that he put up. I wonder if it's just like one of those strikes that's like, I don't know, maybe they like auto picks up or anything, you know? Was it like automated thing, or did someone actually go there and actually like manually do the strike? Day 15, Eve sneaks back into the court. PR guy gets tossed for being rude. Judge P is very mad that, oh, was it day 15? Okay, I need to... Wait, was it really day 15? Okay, so we're like a long ways from that then. I can't believe she snuck back in. Oh my gosh. Algorithm strike guaranteed. Hi, Dominic. How are you doing today? The juror had health issues. I think so. That's why he ended up leaving. Okay, so we're going to get to juror number 25. Okay, number 25. 1327. Line 25. There's no line 25. 1327. Music playing. Why is there music playing? Do you guys hear music playing, or is it just me? Maybe it's my neighbors just blasting music. Okay, let's talk about the juror. The court. Juror 25, who happens to be the one waving the deputies at lunchtime, said that he had hernia surgery 2 months ago and he's in a lot of pain. He doesn't feel comfortable sitting here, and I'm not sure if it's just today or if that's in general, but Ms. Brederhoff interrupts, I'm happy to excuse him. Judge Petty, I know you are. I think I can bring him out here so we can talk with him and see. If I excuse him today, he's excused for the jury. He has to know that. But would you want me to bring him out so we can talk to him? Mr. Chu. So we wouldn't want to dismiss him immediately. I mean, I just had hernia surgery myself several months ago. I don't have any problems at all, but I know everyone's different. Damn, hernia surgery sounds really painful. I think my mom had hernia surgery before. Yikes. Anyone here in chat had hernia surgery that you want to disclose? It sounds really painful. ELAINE. Yes, thank you, Your Honor. All right, we'll bring him in. Can we get 25? Sir, you can have a seat. That's fine. Maybe if you can just talk real loud for me. Sir, I know that you let the deputy know that you're not feeling well from surgery that you had. Hold on just a minute. I really can't hear you. Jury number 25. I had a hernia problem. That's why it started being... I don't know if jury 25 is a guy or girl or not, but normal... I don't know. I just had a hernia problem. That's why it just started being... The court, you have a problem with a hernia? Hold on, I think... One second. Someone's music... What the fuck? That was so weird. I don't know what happened. I think I triggered something and it started playing some Alexa stuff. Okay, I wasn't going crazy. I did hear the music though. Picture the brazenness to sneak back to the courtroom. Yeah, very interesting indeed. Rule breaker. Okay, so we're talking to the jury. Is it really bothering you to the point where you can't concentrate? Yeah, today, I don't know why it's bothering me so much. I just want to make sure you understand, because if I excuse you today, I'm excusing you from jury. I tried to go home, get medicine, get ready, be rested for tomorrow. I can't do that. I can't have that done. We have to keep going. Has it been bothering you other days while you've been on the jury? No, today, start now. Never bothered me for 1-2 weeks I'm here. But it might bother you also tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm trying to do my best. I know you're trying to do your best. I just want to make sure you're healthy too. I don't want to ruin your health for this. Just sit there for a second. If I can have the attorneys. Do you have any follow-up questions? Mr. Chu, did he have surgery? The court. Sounds like he has just a hernia problem that bothered him 1 to 2 weeks a year. That's what I got from that. Mr. Chu, if it was just surgery, it would probably get better. The court. I'm just afraid tomorrow he's going to call in or something, or he's not focusing on the testimony today. Elaine. Today. He's already saying that today, so I moved to excuse him. The court. There's not much that I know. Female speaker. It's early on. There's much that we can do. Would you like us to ask him if he's able to concentrate? The court. He says that he's pretty pain. I think we have to cut our losses here. Mr. Chu. If he's incarcerated, the court. He needs to go to the doctor, get it checked out. I think it might be worse than he think it is. He's not one of our alternatives, but what we can do at this point, we'll take one of the names out of the alternate bag, and I'll tell you what name is, and that person will be back on jury. Elaine. Okay, so we get the alternatives that are not in the order we picked them? The court. They're in an envelope together. It's like Judge Penny will explain the process, and then Elaine will ask the question again about the process. But it's like the judge just said it. Like, I don't know. Elaine just wants to be extra clear, I guess. Elaine. Oh, okay. I thought the order in which Judge Penny. We could do it that way if you want. Rather do it that way. You decide tonight. I'll keep them in an envelope. Okay, so now the court says, sir, we're going to make sure you're healthy. We're going to excuse you from this jury, okay? Just take care of yourself. Jury says, okay. The court says, okay, thank you. You can go back, da-da-da-da. So at this point, juror number 25, who Elaine says was saying hi, good morning, Mr. Depp, waving, smiling, whatever it was, he is now excused. So no more drama with juror number 25. And I think that's good. Now it's all clean. You can't hear, we got TV in the background. Yeah, it was like downstairs, so I don't think you guys would have been able to hear it anyways. Which is good. All right, next we have on... So again, we already read this one. We're going to move on to day 6. And day 6, well, let's see. Who testifies on day... Who do we got on day 6? Day 6, we got Sean Batt, which is Johnny Depp's personal bodyguard. We have Keenan Wyatt, who is a sound engineer. And, Johnny Depp testifies today. All right, let's see what we got here. I think we got some interesting sidebars with Roddenborn. I think. Maybe. Oh, not quite, because it was like at the tail end. Okay. Let's go. Sidebar. Sidebar number 1. 1499. Line 16. Okay, so at this point, we have the cross-examination of Sean Batt, again, the bodyguard, and he's being cross-examined by Mr. Ben Rottenborn. Rottenborn, he just testified that he hadn't helped facilitate, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, Mr. Depp's drug use. So this is for impeachment, and you've got to read the text in context to see how it impeaches him. The court. All right, if you can approach Mr. Rottenborn. Sure. So they're approaching during a sidebar right now. The court. All right, this is in a hard copy. So you're saying this impeaches him for facilitating drug use? Yes, Your Honor. I haven't read it yet, so I'm not sure. Where in there do you say that happens? So there's some visitors to the house. If you start at the bottom and read up, and Mr. Depp makes clear he doesn't want them to go down and see them. He says the nut drugs are down there on, I think it's at entry 73. And then right above that, he says, so the visitors are coming. He says on 74, he says something about can't go downstairs until they split. And then he says, the nut drugs is down there. What's a boy to do? And he says, try to help daddy. I'm a little confused. I almost complained, hi, Nancy, how are you doing today? I'm sorry. What is the impeachment of this? Roddenborn. The impeachment is, he says he doesn't help facilitate Mr. Depp's drug use. Mr. Depp is saying the nut drugs. He doesn't want to go downstairs because the nut drugs is down there. Meaning, I don't know what that means. Camille. Yeah, I don't either. That's not impeachment. That's not proper impeachment. Roddenborn. I don't know what it means either, but it's the court. Then how can you say it's impeachment if you don't know what it means? Mr. Roddenborn, well, I'm going to ask him because, well, he says he doesn't want to go to the downstairs because the nut drugs, meaning like the drugs are upstairs. I don't want to go downstairs. The court, I understand that. Do you know what I'm saying? The court. I'm going to sustain the objection. I just don't see the impeachment. All right. So Roddenborn loses that one. That's funny. He's like, I don't know what they're talking about either, but it's impeachment. Camille's like, yeah, no. 1, 5, 3, 4. What do we got for this one? Now we have Keenan Wyatt is now on the stand. He's a sound engineer, and he's being directly examined by Ben Chu. Let's go to 1, 5, 3, 3, line 11. All right, so this is Ben Chu. Has Mr. Depp ever worn an earpiece in any of his movies in which you worked on? Yes. And for what purpose are earpieces generally used by actors on the set? Well, I believe it was. Elaine. Objection, Your Honor. First of all, relevance, foundation. The court. What's the relevance? Elaine. Hearsay. Mr. Chu. May we approach, Your Honor? So they're approaching right now. We got a little sidebar going on. Mr. Chu. Your Honor, this is a few questions about this. Part of their case is that Johnny's an alcoholic and a drug addict, and he can't remember his lines, and I need to establish that he uses earpieces for a very different reason. The court. Well, I think if you want to direct it towards him, but the last question you said, why do people generally use earpieces in the film? Mr. Chu. I was just trying to ask that one question just to establish what. The court. That's all right. If you want to direct it to Johnny Depp, that's fine. Mr. Chu. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. So again, this is talking about the earpiece thing, because remember, Amber Heard's team are going to say that the reason why Johnny Depp wore an earpiece is because he couldn't remember his lines. But Johnny Depp's team are like, well, actually, he wore the earpiece. Yes, but he wore it because he liked to listen to music. And I'm sure occasionally he might have been fed a line here and there, but it was mostly to listen to music. Better late than never, Nancy. That's true. That is very true. All right, next sidebar. We got sidebar number 4. We have, potentially another juror. I think they were kind of a little worried about one of the jurors here. So this is after the sound engineer testimony, after the direct by Ben Chu. All right, the court. Okay, so juror will find the juror, the young man in the black. Elaine, number 4. The court. Number 4. He's feeling very anxious. He seems to be having some sort of mental issues, but he says he's okay right now. He thinks at lunchtime he might be able to get some medicine. I might keep my eye on him. I'm a little concerned because I guess Judy saw him on the elevator too, and he was talking to himself, acting a little off, so I'm not exactly sure, but I'll keep my eye on him. He said he's okay until lunch. I didn't talk to him. That's through a deputy who said that he's okay through lunch, but we'll keep an eye on him and see exactly what's going on with him. And at lunchtime, we'll have I was going to, after this witness, go ahead and take an early lunch. Mr. Chu. I think that makes sense, Your Honor, because we have some issues. We have 100% agreement on the recordings, but I think we can use the time to kind of finish that up. The court. Okay, sure. We'll send them to lunch after this witness. We'll continue for a while so we can take good care of things. Okay, is that good? All right, everyone agrees. Everyone exits. So we have one juror that they're a little bit worried about, and let's see what ends up happening with this juror, or maybe nothing ends up happening at all, and they're completely fine. Sidebar number 5. Sidebar number 5. We are now talking about the Boston plane incident. Boston plane incident was when I think Johnny Depp was waiting in the car with his sound engineer. Amber Heard shows up, and it seems like the both of them are kind of like in a argument. There's some tension, and they both get on the private plane together. And I think apparently there's two very different stories that each side has said has happened. One side, Amber Heard, said that Johnny Depp was really drunk and he was really belligerent. And I think Amber Heard said that like Johnny hit him and there's other people around. But on Johnny's side, he said he was trying to run away from her. He like locked himself in the bathroom. I don't know. It's just so crazy how the two different sides are so different. But there was no one to attest the fact to Amber's claim, saying that they saw Johnny hit Amber. I think they just all said like, oh yeah, they were fighting. I don't know. It sounded kind of crazy. Hi, Stephanie. How are you doing today? Hello. How you doing? Okay, so let's go to 1578. 15783. So Keenan Wyatt is being cross-examined by Elaine. And okay, so Elaine's going to be asking the question here. So you get on the airplane and it's your testimony that Miss Heard had a bad tone of voice with Mr. Depp. Is that correct? She had a bad tone of voice with me. Okay. In fact, wasn't Mr. Depp saying pretty horrible things to Miss Heard? I don't recall that. Like, get fucked on set? Get fucked with fucking James fucking Franco? Did you hear that? I don't recall. Did you hear him say, at least you fucking liked it? Oh, man. There are some things that Elaine has said in trial that I just really can't unhear. No. Did you hear him say, I bet you slipped a tongue in there and you liked it? No. Did you hear him say, making references to Amber's pussy and asking her if her pussy was wet? Oh my God, poor Elaine. Mr. Chu hops in. Your Honor, lack of foundation, harassment. Did you hear any of that? The answer, no, not that I recall. Judge Penny, I'll overrule the objection. That's fine. Next question. Now, you shared an oxygen tank with Mr. Depp on the Boston plane, didn't you? No. You don't recall Mr. Depp insisting that a flight attendant give him an oxygen tank and the two of you used it? No. Okay. Do you recall Mr. Depp drinking champagne on the airplane? I don't know what he was drinking. I'm sure I was having a wine. He could have been drinking champagne. Do you remember him drinking a couple bottles of champagne? God damn. A couple bottles? I don't know how much. And that is your testimony that Mr. Depp didn't kick Amber? I didn't see anything like that. Okay. Did you see Mr. Depp go into the back of the plane and pass out and moanly loud? I don't recall that. You don't recall that either? No. Okay. Elaine says, can we pull up an exhibit? There's an objection. They're going to approach. All right, now we're doing the sidebar. Elaine, I know, I needed my glasses for this. 245 has no objection. The court, 245. Mr. Chu, it's improper impeachment. It's not to Mr. Wyatt. Elaine, first of all, it's admitted, so it can be published. But this is Mr. Depp talking about what he drank and what he took in drugs. Your Honor, this is hearsay. Before and at the time. Your Honor, this is hearsay and it's prejudicial. We're admitting it here. The court, who's it coming from, though? It's from Depp to Paul Bettany. The court, to who? To Paul Bettany. Mr. Chu, no, it's not to him. The court, no, then it can't come in. Just because they can't object to it doesn't mean it. Just because they didn't object to it doesn't mean it automatically comes into trial. You're trying to use it for impeachment. Obviously, they don't know what they're trying to use it for at the time. So there are still hearsay objections and impeachment objections that come up during trial. Right now, he's not even party to this conversation. So I'm not going to allow it, okay? Elaine, okay. Thank you, Your Honor. And then Ben Chu. Oh, Ben Chu says, I think she should be instructed to move on. The court, excuse me? Mr. Chu, she should be instructed to move on to another. Elaine, no, I'm going to ask questions. I can't just use the document. The court, well, you're not going to use it and you're not going to ask questions about this text, though. Elaine, I can make reference to the text. Mr. Chu, no. Elaine, because Your Honor's ruling, so I'm going to ask him additional questions, but I'm not going to put it in text. The court, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Elaine, not involving the words on this text, correct? Elaine, correct. Mr. Chu, that's what I wanted to make sure. The court, okay. All right, Elaine, you got this? I think she does okay. I think she does okay here. She asks her questions. I don't think she, angers Judge Penny or anything. We're going to hop on to the next sidebar. Cartman? What? Cartman's like, nah. He sounds like this or something. I don't know. It's like high pitched and like annoying. Elaine's like, she's got the sultry, like smoky voice kind of, If you guys have any suggestions on the voices, let me know. I don't know. we're just kind of winging it right now. All right. We're just winging it. All right. Sidebar number 6. What do we got? 1586. All right. Oh, this is when the Team Heard acting kind of shady in this one. They're trying to inject something. I don't know, something about an affair, someone sleeping with another person, and Mr. Chu has to put his foot down and step in. Let's go to 1585 on -2. Okay. So again, we're still talking about the plane fight. And Elaine, I think, is still asking questions, and Keenan White is still on the stand. Still talking about the plane. All right, Elaine says, when you say you don't recall, as you're sitting here today under oath, you honestly can't remember if Mr. Depp was passed out when you left the plane? Mr. Chu, asked and answered, Your Honor. The court, all right, I'll allow it this one time. Go ahead and you can answer it, sir. Answer. There was a lot of plane fights. I mean, the only reason why I remember this one was because Amber yelled at me on the flight. Question. Do you remember my question? Answer. I didn't. I don't recall. Elaine. All right. Answer. I mean, I could have just got off the plane and left. I don't know. Question. And Mr. Depp could have kicked Amber on the plane, right? Mr. Chu. Your Honor, asked and answered. Answer. Not that I saw. Question. Okay. And he could have passed out? Not that I recall. Okay, and how many times were you with Amber and Mr. Depp together? I have no idea. No idea. Well, what will be the circumstances have been? Invited over for something or other, or, you know, Johnny and I may have been recording some music or something, and she was there. Don't know. At work. I don't know. Now, you have a pretty close personal relationship with Christy Dombrowski, didn't you? We're friends, yes. And you are more than friends for quite a few years, wouldn't you say? Your Honor, relevance, may we approach? That's Ben Shu. Elaine says, it's impeachment. Court says, approach, please. Now they're doing a sidebar. Court says, all right, what's the problem? Mr. Chu, she's wanting to go into the gutter again, and she's trying to intimate. She's trying to intimate. Hold on. Ben says, she's wanting to go into the gutter again. Gutter, Elaine. I'm just imagining Elaine just crawling out of the gutter. Get her out of the gutter. She's going in the gutter again, guys. Poor Elaine. Get her out of there. She's lost. Okay. So Mr. Chu says, she's wanting to go back into the gutter again and try to intimate the court. I'm not sure. Elaine, he's biased. He had an affair with her for years. Mr. Chu, he didn't. That's lie number one. We hopping on that gossip train, y'all. The court. I'm not going there. I'm not. I'm going to sustain the objection. That's more of a sideshow than we're going to. She's not on trial here. Okay? Elaine. Correct. The court. All right. Oh my God. I don't know if Keenan White and Christy Dombrowski. Christy is Johnny Depp's sister. I don't know if they had an affair or not. I've never heard of that before, but I don't know. I don't think I even care if they did. Oh, the gutter creature. I went to read the Heard Cross sidebar because I'm curious. I absolutely can't wait. Really? Oh my God, Elaine completely cooks herself. Oh, poor Elaine. But you know, Elaine, she's funny. She's funny. You know, I bet you Elaine is like, she's probably a blast at the family functional dinners. You know, could you imagine Elaine just getting drunk off wine and just being her silly self? She seems like she might be a good time. All right, sidebar number 7. Going back to talking about the juror, we're not too sure how they are mentally doing. So the court, with juror number 4, we have CSB in the building, you know, for mental health services. So I'm going to have one of them come up, just not release him for lunch yet, and talk to him, see exactly if he's having a mental health issue. Elaine, I think that's a good idea. Mr. Chu, thank you, Your Honor. The court. Okay, and we're going to see where we are. We can go update from there. I'm sorry about the extended lunch. I thought we had other things to do, but if that works out, Camille. Well, we appreciate it, Your Honor, because we've met and conferred and started on the recordings. The court. Okay, good. Camille. And we have an agreement that both sides can use others' voices. The court. During Mr. Depp's. I gotcha. The only thing we're still ironing out is whether we believe Mr. Depp believes that only the portions of, well, we have transcriptions of the recordings. The court. Okay. Ms. Vasquez. Both sides do, but we believe similar to the way Your Honor has been ruling on the text message, only the portion of the transcripts that are displayed. The court. Right. Camille. Should be submitted to the jury as either an aid or, if Your Honor would prefer, or admitted to evidence. The court, okay. Ms. Vasquez, Ms. Heard's counsel is insisting that the entire transcript should be provided to the jury, and we disagree with that. The court, as far as when it comes to the video coverage and transcripts, they can have the transcripts as aid. They're not evidence. Camille, right? The court, okay, so they can have them as aid as you're watching the video. Elaine, audio. And we're mostly talking that audio here, audio recordings. The court, audio. It can be assistance when they have the audio, but the transcripts themselves, they don't come into evidence. The evidence is an audio recording. Elaine, I think the reason we've got the transcripts, Your Honor, there is one audio recording that's over 5 hours, and it's the court. It doesn't come into evidence unless the audio comes into evidence. I usually don't let transcripts into the jury, but we'll let them. Elaine cuts her off. We just wanted to do that so that the court, okay, that's fine. But if you think that it will help them, maybe there's a hard to hear parts of the audio, I'll allow them to, you can pass it on to them while they're listening to the audio. And then once it's done, I'll collect them back up. Elaine, okay. Vasquez, and there's going to be 2 versions, Your Honor, because we've done transcriptions. They've done transcriptions. Really? Oh, because I was just thinking, like, what if the hard to hear parts could be interpreted as like a totally different word, but each side does their own transcriptions? Oh my God, that's so much for the jury to look over if they wanted to. No, she's just chilling in Spain, I think. I don't hear anything about her getting sued again. Hi, Apocalypse. How are you doing today? We're just reading the sidebars. We're listening. We're reading the parts that we didn't get to hear or see during the trial. So basically all the side drama. She was like, they didn't put into discovery. And then after Camille says, well, that's on Amber for not admitting her own exhibit, she said, but she did the discovery. It's in discovery, but she did. It's in discovery. All right, we'll get into it, Snow Owl. Okay. The court. Of course there is. Mr. Chu, very unreasonable. The court. Okay, so do you want me to come back a little early so I can decide which one? Or are you guys going to figure that on your own? I'm not going to give the jurors 2 transcriptions. Oh, so they do not give the juror 2 transcriptions. Okay. Damn. They got to fight which word is which. Ms. Vasquez, you're not going to give them have 2? The court. No, the whole point is to help them. Ms. Vasquez, wouldn't it be the court if you can't agree that I'm not going to give it to them? It's just going to be their hearing of it. Ms. Vasquez, okay. Would you be amenable if we play a portion of the transcript and then we provide our transcription? And then the court. No, we're not going to do that. Camille, no? Okay. The court, okay, no. Vasquez, okay. So they say, okay, no, back and forth a little bit. Court, okay. So it's either 1 transcription or none. Camille, or none. The court, and it doesn't go to the juror. Okay, we'll see you at 2. Everyone says, thank you. So they have to fight over whose transcript is going to be given to the juror, or maybe none of them gets transcript at all. I don't know how did they figure that out? I hope there's some follow-up with that. Next sidebar we got. At this point, Johnny Depp is on the stand. I believe he is being direct examined by Jessica Myers, and he's talking about his childhood background story, about how his family was splitting up, and we're going to have a little sidebar on that. So let's go to 16. How far back should we go? 16, 15? All right, so this is Johnny Depp right here. I can't do the Johnny Depp impression. It's too hard, but let's try. And I saw my mother, and in that mode. So instantly I knew that something was dreadfully wrong. There's drool coming out of her mouth, and I was about to run and call. The front door busted open, and my uncle and 2 paramedics came and threw her in the gurney, whisked her out of the house to get her out of the hospital to pump her stomach. She swallowed a multitude of pills to try to take herself out, to try to commit suicide. And when she got out of the hospital, she was a small firecracker of a woman. She was about 5'2", but when she got out of the hospital, the depression was so deep. She was so down to she lived on the couch and weighed about 70 pounds. Jesus. Weighed about 70 pounds. And that all that imagery spun into my head at that time. I thought that was very in my head at the time. I thought that in a very cowardly way for my father to have left. I was very deeply upset by that. And until my father, I had a conversation years later where I asked him, what really happened? How did it happen when I was older? And he told me that story. Brought on board. Objection, Your Honor. Ms. Myers, Your Honor, may we approach the court? Sure. So now we're doing a sidebar. Jessica says, Your Honor, this is being offered for his state of mind and understanding his relationship. The foundation upon which the relationship that he was in with Ms. Heard is. Mr. Roddenborn, still, that's just, I have a lot of restraints so far. He's getting into what his dad told him about what is left. So hearsay. The court. What? Mr. Rottenborn. If it's offered for the truth, it's clear that they're trying to draw a parallel, make it Amber's family here and Johnny's. The court. I don't know what the answer, so I can just... Ms. Myers. His understanding is that his mother had attempted, held a gun to his father, and then to her own head. And that's what his father told him. Now, whether it's true or not, what Mr. Depp understood the situation was and why his father left. The court. So why is that relevant? Ms. Myers. It's relevant to the understanding why Mr. Depp would stay in this relationship with Ms. Heard and why she would ultimately leave. The court. I'm going to sustain the objection. Move on. Thank you. All right. So they move on, sustain. And now we have Elaine versus Camille Vasquez. Elaine. All right. So at this point, we're at the end of day 6. The jury has been dismissed. The lawyers are left in the courtroom. And we might be in the courtroom too. Or this is a sidebar. I don't know. No, we probably did get to listen to this. But you know what? Well, let's just read it anyways. All right. So Elaine, can we approach? We've never discussed a second alternate. The court. 15 is what I have. The next time we came together, I was going to say that. 15. There's one minor issue. I don't know with the respect to the timing track of respective times. Right? Counsel for Johnny Depp has sent an email to Sammy with itemization. We had asked Your Honor, may recall 2 Fridays ago, I asked him to give me their worksheets with their calculations and everything so I could double check it, so we can agree on it. They're now refusing to give those to me, so I can't verify any of those. Go back and check them. Well, I think, so I need those. Are they way off? I would have to done to the calculations too. Right? But they said they were going to do it. Right? The calculations. Camille. Ms. Brederhoff, I'm here and I'm happy to provide. All we did, Your Honor, the court, it would be too difficult to do that. I assume you would do yours, and then when your case comes around, you do yours. Camille. Actually, we have Planet Depots doing it now, but they couldn't go backwards. The court. Okay. Elaine. That's why they said they were doing those. The court. I guess what she's saying is that there's no worksheets. Camille. There's no worksheets per se. Ms. Butterhoff just. Elaine. There had to be something that had to time. Camille. Yeah, it's called the transcripts. What we did is say anything that was designated in our colors or your colors. Elaine. But you put times on them, right? Camille. No, we added it and subtracted it. Elaine. So that's what I'm missing, the underlying numbers to add them up. Ms. Vasquez. All we did was we call the court. Hold on. Elaine. The transcripts here. One of them is right there. The court. But do you have calculations of some sort? Camille. No, Your Honor. What we did is take the amount of the transcript, which is at the bottom of the transcript, and then subtracted our designations. The court. Okay. Ms. Vasquez. And then we took a look at the designations. Anything that we both co-designated, we split in half. The court. Okay. Ms. Vasquez. So it's a calculation that anyone with a transcript can do. I guess not. If you're Elaine, you can't. The court. Okay. I don't think they have any underlying work product. Camille. We don't have anything per se. Elaine. So when you subtracted, how do you know what to subtract? Camille. We subtracted the designations. Elaine. Do you have a number? The court. I'm not going to ask them to provide anything other than they have. If you want to go back, you have the transcript also. If you want to go back up, Elaine. Apparently, we're going to have to do that. That takes time, but I haven't agreed to what they sent in. Camille says, by the way, we're 1 minute apart. We're 1 minute apart. The court. You're kidding. Camille. No, we're 1 minute apart. Elaine. I haven't done any calculations. The court. I don't know. Ms. Vasquez. I was relying on them telling me. The court. I'm done with this conversation. Right now, that's all. That's what I have. If you find something different, you can let Sammy know. But that's what's going in the book right now. Elaine. But I don't agree. The court. I understand. That's why you're going to have to do it yourself. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow, Elaine. I can't do a deep voice for Johnny. I can't. I think I will take my throat out if I try to. I just have to talk really slow, I guess. That's all I can do for Johnny. Deep voice is too hard. He's got an immensely beautiful, goddamn deep voice. I can't do it. Elaine! Let me use the bathroom real quick. Guys, get up, use the bathroom stretch. Potty break. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to do a deeper voice, but I honestly, my voice, I can't, I don't know, Johnny's too hard. Johnny's too hard. Next day, we got day 8 on April 21st. We got we're continuing the cross of Johnny Depp by Mr. Roddenborn. We got a lot of sideboards going on, but they're mostly just discussing redactions of text. We're not going to cover those. We continue crossing JD, and then it segues into another lawsuit that Johnny Depp was involved in the time. Remember the lawsuit with Rocky Brooks that ended up in a settlement. So that ended up not ever happening. Sidebar. Okay, so lots of redactions, discussing redactions, and who do we got here? So we got Jessica Myers for Johnny Depp, and then we got Mr. Roddenborn for Amber Heard. Okay. Mr. Roddenborn says, and you're currently in a lawsuit for assaulting a crew member on the set for one of your movies of July 2018, correct? Mr. Depp. Yes. I can't do Johnny. Yes, someone brought a case against me. I can't. Yes, someone brought a case against me. I can't. Yes, someone bought a case against me. Question. A man by the name of Rocky Greg Brooks is suing you for allegedly punching him. Ms. Myers. Objection, Your Honor. Now they do a sidebar. Jessica says, this is the court. This is a defamation case. I don't think either you can have improper character evidence in a defamation case. What's your objection? Jessica. Relevance, Your Honor. The court. What's your relevance? Mr. Roddenborn. Relevance is that the two bodyguards that were with him during the time of these allegations were Jerry Judge and Sean Bett, the same people that were with him the night of May 21st, 2016. Why is that relevant? Our belief is that Mr. Judge and Mr. Bett lied to protect him. They're all loyal to him. So the fact that he's being sued by someone for assaulting him on a movie set, the same two people who were conveniently there were May 21st, 2016, that's directly relevant evidence. I'll limit my question. I won't ask him about the allegations, but I want to ask him one more question. I'll say the two people who were with you, who were your security guards the day of the alleged assault, were Jerry Judge and Sean Bett. That's the only question I'll ask him. That's relevant. Jessica. That's tenuous. What happened between him and another man? The court. If he's not going to ask any other details, just that one limited question, okay? Mr. Roddenborn. Thank you, Your Honor. So he asks the question. We move on from that. That lawsuit has been dropped. Okay. What is this one? 19. Sidebar number 9. 2005. Are we back to talking about the flight? Okay, so now we're cross-examining Johnny Depp, and we're talking about the flight that they were on. 14. All right, Roddenborn. At some point on the flight, you end up sleeping on the bathroom floor, correct? Answer. Yes, I did. Question. You testified to that yesterday, didn't you? Answer. Yes, I did. Question. When you landed, you were quite ill when you landed in Los Angeles, correct? Answer. I don't recall being quite ill. It's possible. I don't know what you're referring to, but you can take me there. Question. Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at the page 313 of your UK transcript, please. Answer 3. Question is page 37 of the document. Myers, may we approach? So we're approaching with the judge right now. Your Honor, this is a testimony between text messages between Mr. Deuters and Amber Heard. So whatever these questions are, I can't imagine they're proper impeachment. Mr. Roddenborn, Your Honor, it's his testimony. I'm going to start with line 14. Were you sick when you arrived back in LA or were you sick on the plane? He says, clearly, Mr. Deuters is sending these texts to Ms. Heard. I must have been quite ill or I must have been quite ill. Ms. Myers, he's referring to a text message. Mr. Roddenborn, he's testifying that he was quite ill. He's not testifying to the content of the text messages. It's his testimony. He's relying on something on basis of his belief that he was quite ill. He testified under oath. I must have been quite ill. This isn't improper use of hearsay document. The court. No, it's the impeachment part. Mr. Roddenborn, he testified yesterday that he was. The court. I understand that. Mr. Roddenborn, you understand that. The court. Well, that was impeached by the text. Mr. Roddenborn, well, I can refresh his recollection of something, impeachment. He said, I don't recall. The court. The first reference is fine, but I don't see this as impeachment. Jessica. Your Honor, I'm sorry. The reference of the text messages between Mr. Deuters and Ms. Heard. The court. You just have to read it. You don't read it, he reads it. That's how you refresh his memory. Mr. Roddenborn. That's fine. The court. Yeah, have him read it and say, does it refresh your recollection? And then they say, thank you. And then they ask him, refresh his recollection. Sidebar number 10. Did you buy the muffins? Muffins! I hate when I wake up in the bathroom floor. That sounds painful, okay? Especially for someone with back pain. Oh, God. Ugh. I woke up in like a bathtub, I think. Yeah, a bathtub. Early 20s, man. Early 20s. Don't miss them. All right, what do we got for 2013? 2013, 5. What do we got here? 15, actually. All right, Roddenborn and Johnny Depp again. Question, would you agree that at least on parts of the plane flight, you were blackout? Answer, no, I wouldn't agree, but I was in a blackout. Question, look at the page. Answer, there's a difference between blackout and when you're on opiates. Question, let's look at page 333 of your transcript, please. 333. This is day 2. This is from the UK trial. Yes, there seems to be a lot. Jessica Myers, Your Honor, may we approach, please? All right, they're on the sidebar, approaching right now. Your Honor, I'm just anticipating where they're going. I just don't think this is proper impeachment testimony. Roddenborn, he just said he wasn't in a blackout. The court, he just said that he wasn't in a blackout. Jessica, he says apparently yes, the court, but parts of the flights I blacked out. Mr. Roddenborn, is there any reason why you said this and it isn't not true? Probably not. Then he goes on about how he exaggerates. It's direct impeachment of the question. The court, it is going from 813. 813. All right. How far do I want to read into the blackout stuff? Not too far. All right. Next sidebar. Plane ride recording with Johnny Depp moaning in the background. Okay, so Jessica Meyer, I think the whole Depp team, they're just a little bit wary of the Heard team. Probably because they think the Heard team does like sketchy shit on the side or something. Must have had some previous past like shady stuff happening. Okay, so we got a sidebar number 11, a plane ride recording with the moaning. Okay, sidebar, Jessica. I just want to make sure. Mr. Roddenborn, it's a plane ride recording. Jessica, I think we were maintaining objection on authentication on that one. The court, the previous motion in limine on this one. Jessica, I'm sorry. The court, was that the motion in limine? Jessica, that one was not. The court, is this a different one? Jessica, yes. The court, okay, all right. So authentication on the objection. Mr. Roddenborn, I mean, he testified about it in the UK. He will, at least if he testifies consistent with the UK, he will say it's from a different time. But I don't think he disputes. I'll have to check the transcript, but there wasn't a dispute. It was his voice, right? Jessica, I'm not disputing that it was his voice, but dispute as to whether it has been manipulated in any way and when it's actually from. So remember, I think they're just trying to be extra careful because there has been some evidence, photos that they felt was manipulated in order to back up Amber Heard's story. So here they are trying to, be a little bit, trying to safeguard and try to be careful and, make sure that the team member is not going to put any evidence that's been manipulated. They're reaching too hard, trying to prove AH got fans. Rumor has it objection hearsay still makes Zanhoff wake up in the cold sweat at night. So it seems the game OC Vinyl was limited press promotion act was signed by 2 of the voice actors. It was $450. Read it, but I got curious and looked. What game was it? XCMZ guy is the one who really only never forget I could say the same to you having her as a client. Wait, you want it for free? How? How did you want it for free? Is it legit? I feel like nowadays sweepstakes are so sketchy. Is it like a giveaway on Life is Strange? Oh, that's so cool. Very cool. Okay, so Jessica says that, she's not disputing that his voice was on it, but they think it might have been, maybe it could have been manipulated. Roddenborn. That's the first I ever heard that. They haven't made any motion that the tapes were manipulated. They can ask him about that if they think it was manipulated. Jessica Myers. We're maintaining an authentication objection right now. Mr. Roddenborn. She just admitted that he testified that his voice on the video or audio. The court. So I guess at redirect you can, I'm not sure what questions you're going to ask about that. So you're objecting to it coming in, period, because of authentication? Ms. Myers, yes. Mr. Roddenborn, while admitting that it's his voice? The court, well, I guess that goes to the weight of it, so you can do it on redirect. Jessica says, okay, we'll let it in, go back and forth. So this is a part where Johnny Depp is moaning, but I think they weren't really sure when that moaning happened. Amber Heard said that the moaning happened when he was on the airplane, and Johnny Depp's like, I don't know when she recorded that. I don't know if I trust her. Hi, Quinn. How are you doing today? How's it going? Hello. What have you been doing today? Sidebar 13. Lunch recess about Amber's PR team potentially leaking evidence that they shouldn't have. What's the tea on that? Mr. Chu. Ms. Vasquez received an email with an exhibit that Mr. Roddenborn used in cross. Ms. Vasquez, unredacted. Mr. Chu, unredacted. Has Mr. Depp's phone number on it. Ms. Vasquez, so we understand that Ms. Heard's side is working with a public relations firm and the court. Is it on social media? Ms. Vasquez, no, it looks like it's on scan and copy, Your Honor. Mr. Chu, it's from a binder. Ms. Vasquez, it looks clearly like it's been scanned in from a binder. It's clearly, but the problem here, it was an exhibit that was used by Mr. Roddenborn on cross. And it has your client's phone number and has obviously their client's email if she still uses that. But the concern here is that we understand that perhaps Ms. Heard's side is working with a public relations company to, once exhibits are admitted to by Your Honor, to push them out into media. The problem here is that is this an inadvertent disclosure before Your Honor admitted to exhibit? It looks like it might be. It was just sent to me by an afternoon while we're on lunch by a fan or somebody saying hi from the UK. Not sure if this was supposed to contain a telephone number. The court. It wasn't in our court files because we haven't. Ms. Vasquez. No, but I don't know where he obtained it, but it's clearly an exhibit that has never been utilized until during cross-examination today. The court. Do we know? Do we know if it's any of your team or any? Mr. Roddenborn. I don't know. I don't know. The court. Who's been involved in that? Elaine. I don't think anyone from our team is involved. I don't know the answer to this question. The court. The question is, what they're saying is, I guess, you got some kind of public PR team that gets the evidence out. Elaine. Yeah, we're not actively working with them. The court. But they have all of your exhibits? Elaine. I don't think so. Ms. Vasquez. We understand they do. The court. Yeah, you need to look into it and find and see what's going on because there's a lot of redactions going on. I mean, I don't even have that exhibit yet because it's owed to me for redactions. Elaine. I don't know what it is. Mr. Chu. We can show you what it is. Ms. Vasquez. It's the one that he was just showing Mr. Depp. Elaine. We'll look into this, Your Honor. We're not aware of anything. The court. Yeah, okay. Camille. It was used in cross-examination today. Elaine. Indiscernible. Cross-examination. Maybe she was mumbling something. Cross-examination. The court. I know, but I'm not sure where it's coming from. I know that the main thing is that I don't know what this PR firm is doing. I don't think any evidence should be going out except That's why we did it on official court site. So they shouldn't be giving out evidence. So many things are redacted. Mr. Chu, it may not come in at all. The court. So if it's that, ELAINE, totally understand that. The court. That train has to stop if it's rolling. I'm not sure if it is. ELAINE, totally understand and we agree. I have another. Mr. Roddenborn has agreed. He intends to bring in 581, 582 this afternoon. The court. I don't know what that is. ELAINE, they're audio tapes. The parties have agreed that all the audio tapes can come in full. These are the two. Jessica, can we clarify that? To the extent that just Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard are on the audio tape. ELAINE, I didn't understand that. That was the... Mr. Chu, yes, you did. Come on, ELAINE. ELAINE. But in any event, Your Honor, this is 581, 582. These are between Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard. We just wanted to disclose these are the two that are just partials. We could never find the full. We said that we're still looking for the time of the motion in limine. Your Honor denied the motion to try to exclude them. We went back. When we inherited this case 2 years ago, we inherited 1.3 documents, database. We had that completely searched, had IT people completely search it. We have not been notified anything but partials on both. But those are partials and we claim partials here. We don't have the full report. We've done everything we can try to find it. Jessica, I think we need to start with the court. But you can also redirect on it also. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But those recording are just the two of them? Correct. That's correct. The court. There's no other people. Now that we're on the same page, that ones with other people aren't coming in. Jessica, we have not made that agreement. ELAINE, we haven't done anything. The court. Well, the issue's out there, right? We're going to get it resolved. Mr. Roddenborn. So I didn't hear any of that. Can I use them? The court. Yes, you can use them. And your objection is noted. Jessica. Thank you. All right. Everyone gets back. Thank you. Get back to the jury. And let's get the follow-up. So was it the PR team that may have leaked an exhibit out? Or was it not? Let's see what ELAINE says. She does her investigations. ELAINE. All right. Let's see what ELAINE says. Your Honor, may we approach briefly before we take a break? Okay. Your Honor, I have verified with the PR people. They have not released anything, much less anything that would be an exhibit. They have never released anything that was not already in evidence, which means whatever was on Ms. Vasquez's phone has nothing to do with us. Can we believe that? What do we believe? What are we believing? Chu has been done with ELAINE. I think Chu and the entire firm has been done with ELAINE since before the trial. Like the communications going back and forth was hilarious. Okay. And the allegations. What's bothering me is that when they release these transcripts, these people has been getting transcripts every day. They release them to the press. They're making unfound allegations about Mr. Chu. What are you talking about? Our legal team. We're suggesting we're releasing things, suggesting that other people are releasing things, and I'm very offended by it. Your Honor said we need to verify before we come to the bench, and now there's been an allegation. Our legal team had something to do with this. That's not what we did, said Mr. Chu. The court. I think they wanted to make sure that it was clear, and then you went back and you made sure. I don't think anybody's taking this, that there was anything. Of course, it did not come from us at all. That's fine. There's been verified. That's fine. That makes sense. I just want to make sure, like you said, that no evidence gets out there from anybody until Camille. As I stated, it also had Ms. Heard's email address. Ooh. The court. No, I know. That's why I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention. That's happening, so that's fine. So I don't know where it's coming from, but I can tell you that I know Planet Depots has been getting people can pay for transcripts. Anybody can do it. The transcripts are getting out. It could be anybody paying for them. They'll take anybody's money. These transcripts, I think, are very expensive, by the way. So again, huge shout out to deepdive.net or deepdive.net. Vasquez. Your Honor, is this the court's website? It appears to be. The court. Oh, it's really weird. That's the court's website. Camille. So if I just may, just to show you that under today's date, these are the exhibits and that's the one. The court. See, it might have been. Have you downloaded anything today on the court? Have you downloaded any exhibits on the court website? Camille, that might be The court. We'll take a look. We'll take a look. ELAINE. I'm just glad. The court. All right. Thank you. Mr. Chu. Thank you, Your Honor. The court. We'll take a recess. All right. All rise. I think that's what we got for today. I think that's all we got. What day are we on now? We are on day 8. Day 8. Whoo, 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 whoo. Yeah, they have a mate. I'll post it on Discord. Just curious, who will use the FIFA name going forward? Don't want to pay for FIFA anymore? Wait, what's going on with FIFA? Is there some drama going on with the FIFA land? Woo! My throat. How are you guys all doing today? Hope you guys are all doing well. Who do we have on the next day? Let's see. Day 9. Day 9, day 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Day 9. All right, so we're on day 6, 7, day 8. Day 9, more Johnny Depp testimony, and then Ben King. I think he was the property manager. And then we're going to get into Tara Roberts, who I think was the housekeeper. Dr. Curry gets up on there. One of the police officers' deposition, more police officer deposition, Alejandro Romero's deposition, the one who was vaping, Christian Carino, I think. Who was Christian Carino again? He was in the business. I think he was like friends with Amber and Johnny, wasn't he? Laura Wasser, the attorney. And then we have more people. And, oh man. Day 15 is when I think it really starts maybe going downhill from there. Yeah, the moment that Amber Heard testified, that's when, or no, it started going downhill with Don Hughes, to be honest. Don Hughes and then Amber Heard, and it was just a train wreck. And then it kind of just got really quiet, a little bit boring, and a lot of video depositions. Dr. Curry, the real OG. All right, y'all, it's 2:07. All right, guys. That is it for today's reading of the Depp Heard sidebars. Again, huge shout out to deppdive.net for posting all the stuff. It's very expensive to post these transcripts, so I appreciate them. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll read the rest of the transcripts. I don't want to wing it anymore because it's kind of hard to do it in a live stream. I think it's better if I go through the transcripts and I'll write all of my notes and then we go back and forth between the two of them. But I do want to keep an eye out on, let's see, today is Wednesday. So Thursday we'll do some more transcript stuff. Friday we'll do some more transcript stuff. But also Friday, I believe Brian Coburger is going to make an appearance in Idaho court. And it's one of those things where they don't live stream it. They record it and then they let us have access to it afterwards. So we'll watch that. Let's see, what's going on with the Coburger? Should I read some of the Coburger stuff before I go? I'm not really up to date with it yet. Coburger. Oh, and then also next month, Taylor Shabusiness sentencing. And then we have a lot of pre-trial stuff with Sarah Boone. One pre-trial stuff with Alexi Treviso as well. And let's see, Coburger. Brian C. Coburger. Man, the last thing we read with Brian C. Coburger was the fucking alibi. The alibi nonsense mess. Hold on, I might read the Coburger stuff really quick, actually. What's going on with the Coburger stuff? Genetic genealogy. Actually, I'm gonna read this really quick, if y'all don't mind. You just have me playing in the background. Okay, so this was filed by Coburger's attorney, Ann C. Taylor, public defender. And looks like they hired someone. They hired an expert. What's their name? Oh, affidavit of Leah Larkin. Okay, so Leah Larkin is a genetic genealogist, having practiced genetic genealogy since 2014. Her educational background is a bachelor's degree in biology and PhD in botany. Her CV is attached as a genetic genealogist. She has a clear understanding of how... Is there a bug in here? Oh, there's a bug in here. I have a clear understanding of how genetic genealogy... It's like right in my face. Did I get it? It's like a little guy. Okay, you might see me doing some of this for a little bit. The stream is just going to be extended by another... It's not going to be that long. Another like 15 minutes maybe. Okay. Genetic genealogy is best described as the use of DNA data to evaluate biological relationships. There are 3 categories of genealogy DNA tests. Again, so Coburger and his team, they are disputing how the law enforcement was able to link his DNA to him. So there was a DNA that was found on the knife sheath, the little button or something. And they did this whole family genetic genealogy thing. They used like another third-party website. And at some point when they went to Coburger's family's house all the way on the East Coast, they went to the trash. They were able to compare that DNA on the knife sheath with the DNA they found in the trash. And they believe that the DNA, they are related by paternal DNA. So must be Coburger's father's DNA that they found in the trash. But they are disputing that, and that's why we're doing this whole genealogy thing. Okay, so Y chromosome, you get it from your dad. Mitochondrial, you can get it from your mom. Autosomal, all branches of a pedigree, so maybe mom and dad. A genetic genealogist integrates information from this DNA test with a genealogical documentation to review or corroborate relationships. Genetic genealogy primarily uses autosomal DNA that was originally designed for biomedical research. Since 23andMe brought their health tests to the consumer market in late 2007, Family Tree DNA, Ancestry DNA, MyHeritage. Have you guys used any of these websites by any chance? To find like other family members out there anywhere? And a handful of smaller companies have launched their own genetic genealogy products. These companies all provide genealogy tools to their customers on the website and also produce a raw DNA data file that the customer can download. The raw data file contains a genetic profile for that customer. The genetic profile is not the same as the STIR profile that is commonly uploaded to the CODIS in a forensic DNA analysis. You don't want to find the family. Courtney Clenny, the only update that I saw with Courtney Clenny case, I think they're trying to suppress the audio tapes. That's all I got. I don't know when that trial is going to happen, but yeah, I don't know. Does anyone know? That's the only update that I saw so far. It was either on Court TV or like Law and Crime or something. But dude, that case is wild as well, okay? Because I didn't know that she is saying that she threw a knife at him from a very long distance, and that's how she said she accidentally killed him. Ay, ay, ay. Another hot mess. Hi, Kay. Oh, you missed the transcripts from earlier. Well, you can rewatch the live stream later, or I'll try to edit it into YouTube videos. I haven't done it yet. I might do it today. Most of the human genome is identical across all people. Only the DNA positions that are vary between individuals are used for genealogy. These variable positions are single nucleotide polymorphisms, SNP, pronounced SNP. The direct-to-consumer genealogy companies use a type of test called a microarray that samples roughly 600,000 of these DNA SNPs. Unlike the STIR markers used for the matching in CODIS, SNPs can convey information about medical and physical traits as well as biological relationships to close and distant cousins. So I think like of the human, of all of us shared about like 99% of like the same DNA. There's only some parts, I guess they're called the SNPs, where there's variations. Number 7, a microarray SNP profile, something called a kit. When the lab test is complete, the genealogy company compares a new kit to those already in the database, looking for long stretches of SNPs that are compatible. The company then presents these matches in a list sorted by the amount of shared DNA measured in centimorgans. A standard DNA microarray requires approximately 200, this is nanograms? NG is NG a nanogram? NG, is NG nanogram? What is U again? U is micro, right? I don't remember, of quality DNA. The quality and quantity is often not available from crime scenes or degraded human remains. Instead, specialized laboratories can generate a SNP profile through a more complex, SNP or SNAP? SNAP, right? Oh, SNP. Through a more complex process. First, they attempt to sequence the entire genome using the next generation sequencing technology. This technology works a bit like skimming while reading a document. On the first pass, the NGS technology will not capture all the data and will make mistakes. NGS involves repeated passes called coverage to get more accurate results. For human genome sequences, 30x to 50x coverage is recommended. Once the NGS file is obtained, it must be manipulated through bioinformatics in order to make it more compatible with a genealogy database. The extra data must be stripped out just to make sure the SNPs that the genealogy companies test, missing or ambiguous data, must be inferred using statistical method. The kit is then uploaded to genealogy database and evaluated. A poor quality kit might have too few matches, or it might be phantom matches that are not real measures of relationship. So maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe the defense are saying that, like, hey, we want to know how they were able to link the DNA to the family DNA because, you know what? Maybe the matches weren't really real matches to begin with. Often, the bioinformatics step must be repeated. This trial and error process can take several tries to produce a kit that works well in genealogy database. 10. Only GD match family tree DNA and some entities allow crime scene and human remains samples to be uploaded. The terms of service at Ancestry DNA, 23andMe, and MyHeritage prohibit forensic and investigative genetic genealogy in their databases. So they must use GD or family tree DNA. However, in the absence of effective oversight, forensic genetic genealogists are on an honor system to obey the TOS. Oh, wait, what? Wait, so if law enforcement actually ended up using Ancestry DNA, 23andMe, and MyHeritage, and then they didn't follow TOS, no, I don't think it would still be thrown out, though. I think they would still be able to include it. Fuck the TOS. Nanogram, milligram, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to say, like, hey, you know, they didn't follow TOS, so maybe this should be thrown out. Nah, I don't think so. 11. Each of the genealogy database compares the user's DNA data to all of the other data files in their database and presents a list of DNA matches who share meaningful amounts of DNA. The matched list includes the match's name or alias, how much DNA they share in centimorgans, and occasionally a link to the family tree that the match has voluntarily provided. 12. Genetic genealogy databases are siloed from each other. If you tested Ancestry DNA and your siblings tested 23andMe, you will not be matched to one of another because you're not in the same database. GD Match is a third-party site that functions as Genetic Genealogy Commons. A user can upload their raw DNA file from their testing company and find matches of people who uploaded to GD Match from different companies. Like GD Match Family Tree DNA, MyHeritage also allows uploads of raw data files. Ancestry DNA, 23andMe do not. Maybe law enforcement uses like two separate companies or something. Take my DNA if I can get ahead of cancer. It's a public domain, should be relevant. I've been using ChatGPT to write some weird D&D backgrounds, getting ready for Baldur's Gate. Why? I want to see some. 13. Broadly speaking, the more DNA two people share, the more closely they are related. The correlation is not perfect, though. Any given centimorgan amount can represent more or one possible relationship. The testing company suggests probable relationships, but experienced genetic genealogists typically use the online shared centimorgan tool, shown at the right for a hypothetical match of a 200 centimorgan, to see mathematical probabilities of different relationships for a given centimorgan amount. Note that there are nearly 20 possible relationships listed for a match of 200 centimorgans, which is considered a fairly close match. 14. Adoptees have used genetic genealogy DNA tests to identify their biological families for roughly 15 years now. The same... Shiro. What the fuck, Shiro? I have a little grundle troll corgi who's like wedged between my desk and my PC and the wall, and then he just lurched my freaking desk to the side because I forgot to lock the wheels. Oh my lord. All right. Am I off centered? I think I might be off centered. Okay, I'm just gonna scoot this way. 15. 15. First, the genealogists attempt to build family trees for DNA matches of the person, the family of interest, starting with the closest matches. Relatively few users at GD Match and Family Tree DNA post their pedigrees there, so the genealogist must build trees for them. We attempt to identify the match using their screen names and the email address. Then we search public records, social media, obituaries, news articles, genealogy websites to build out the family tree through their parents, grandparents, and so on. Most genetic genealogists build these so-called research trees at Ancestry.com. The goal of producing these trees is figuring out how two or more matches are related to one another. For example, if a person of interest matches two people that share a great-grandparent couple, making them second cousins to each other, the genealogist now knows that their branch of their tree is relevant to the search. The person of interest could be descended from the couple, or the connection could be one or more generations further back through either a husband or a wife in that couple. Man, I feel like building a ancestry tree would be really fun. You do a lot of snooping. I think it'd be really fun to put it together. I was told to write a background for Orc Bard with a speech impediment that sleeps around. Oh gosh. Did we get anything good from ChatGPT? 17. Once several of the DNA matches have been connected to one another, the genealogist must figure out how the person of interest fits into the tree of those matches. We use age, sex, geographic location, and other circumstantial evidence alongside the DNA-based relationship predictions. A statistical tool called What Are the Odds? Can analyze multiple DNA matches together to evaluate where the person of interest best fits into the tree based on the amounts of shared DNA. 18. What are the odds? Is not intended to give a definite answer. Rather, it points the genealogist towards the most likely branches in the tree for further research. The tool is also not appropriate for all circumstances. For example, it's not intended for populations that are married within themselves, for double cousins, like incest, is that what they're talking about? Or for matches below 40 centimorgan. 19. The genealogist needs to do both maternal and paternal sides of the person of interest pedigree. Often, this involves building dozens of trees and performing several what are the odds analysis. We are looking for instances where a descendant in one DNA family tree married a descendant in another DNA family tree, because those unions point to where the person of interest might fit in the tree. Often, the best we can do with the existing DNA match is to focus on a set of cousins as candidates. Then, more DNA testing is required. This is actually really interesting. I might actually go back and reread this. 20. The process can vary in complexity depending on the individual's starting point. In doing so, the separate research, the genetic genealogy will generate numerous documents to ensure an adequate paper trail. This paper trail can include the list of DNA matches, the research tree with genealogical documentation, public record searches for members of the DNA family, correspondence with the DNA matches, decedent diagram showing how DNA matches are related to one another, and what are the odds analysis. This documentation is necessary and important for the following reasons. DNA matches sometimes hide their profile. An error in the tree can mislead a genealogist, and their decedent diagrams and what are the odds analysis are usually updated repeatedly during a search. I'm just trying to see what angle they're trying to go for specifically. Coburger's defense angle. 21. As a genetic genealogist, I've learned over the power and the privacy implementations of genetic genealogy. The tests themselves were designed to reveal biomedical information and can also reveal family secrets about the tester. In many cases, prior information can be inferred about the DNA relative to the tester as well. For these reasons, leaders in the genetic genealogy community develop standards that emphasize consent and privacy. 22. I'm aware of the Departments of Justice interim policy to limit where forensic genetic genealogy can be used, which databases are accessible to law enforcement. It is possible for the database to be utilized in a way that circumvents these core principles. Notably, I'm aware of, A case in which a chain of custody failed and the wrong SNP profile was sent to the wrong client. Human error. So, I think that's why they wanted the chain of custody of whoever handled the DNA on the knife sheath to see if maybe someone fucked up somewhere, right? B, investigative genetic genealogy is uploading SNP profiles to a forbidden database in violation of the company's terms of service and Department of Justice interim policy. Who messaged me? Who that be? Enjoy the read. Bring it in! C, forensic genealogy being used for a case that did not meet the Department of Justice threshold. Oh, okay. D, investigative genetic genealogists use security loopholes to see DNA kits or opted out of forensic matching and GED match in family tree DNA. Let's say, A obviously would be bad because it's the wrong DNA sent to the wrong one. But if they violate the terms of service or they use, FGG that did not meet the Department of Justice threshold, would that really hold it up? Would that really hold it up? A case in which a SNP profile was performed on an innocent woman, a potential Fourth Amendment violation of her right to privacy, uploaded to GD Match without her knowledge or consent. Wait, really? That's written by ChatGPT? Yeah, Dennis uses ChatGPT to write some of his scripts and giveaways and stuff like that. I have not. 23. Having access to the data and methods used to identify someone will provide answers to compliance with Department of Justice policy. B, how a DNA sample is handled from time of collection through its forensic genetic genealogy testing. C, the process of the SNP creation. D, the process of SNP profile. And E, the use or lack of of loopholes and violations of terms of service to the various genetic genealogy databases. All right, this is her CV. Quite extensive. All right, that's number one. What else do we got here? Oh, so this I think is, in 2 days. Coburger and his attorney Ann Taylor will call on for a hearing the below motions in the above entitled manner in 2 days at 10:30 a.m. Idaho and California, is that 1 or 2 hours different time zone? Does anyone, what time is it? Who's in Idaho right now? Who's in Idaho? What's the time zone? Fuck, that was long. I used to watch CC Moore. She was an investigation discovery for a season. It's really interesting. She found the Golden Gate Killer by reverse engineering from familial DNA. CC Moore, investigation discovery. Oh, that sounds interesting. Is investigation discovery, is that a TV show? And where can I watch it? There's CMT. I think they're 2 hours then, right? Or 1 hour. I should know this. All right, so they're going to discuss the defendant's second and third motion to compel, defendant's third motion to compel, filed on June 22. Defendant's second motion to stay proceedings, filed July 25th. This is them, the grand jury stuff. Okay, this is really short, but I do want to read this. All right, again, filed, or the prosecuting attorney. Comes now the state of Idaho. Prosecuting attorney objects to the defendant's second motion to stay proceedings because the defendant has not factually asserted a substantial failure to comply with the Uniform Jury Selection and Service Act. His motion should be denied. Introduction. Before ever reviewing any of the grand jury materials to determine whether a violation of Idaho's Uniform Jury Selection and Service Act has actually occurred, defendant was determined to obtain a stay in this case. So he filed his first motion to stay under Idaho Code 2-213 without knowing whether he had any basis in law or fact to make such a request. The defendant asked his court to grind the litigation in matter to halt because he intended to contest the indictment. Again, remember they were supposed to have the preliminary hearing, but instead Coburger was indicted because they had a secret grand jury indict him. And desired to discover the grounds upon which the file to motion to dismiss related to how the grand jury was selected. The court declined to grant relief under that subsection and instead issued a limited stay order that a speedy trial be told for a period of 37 days. Order staying time for speedy trial on July 7th. The state has moved to reconsider that order, and argument is set for August 18, 2023. So the trial is set for October 2nd. October 2nd, but because they were granted a limited stay, technically, I don't really know how that really works, though. They get to extend that by 37 days if Coburger and defense wanted to, I think. Having now reviewed the grand jury materials provided since his initial motion, the defendant has delivered on his promised strategy. He seeks the state to buy more time to challenge the indictment. In support of his second motion to stay, defendant submitted the affidavit of Ann Taylor filed under seal. Through that affidavit, the defendant argues for a stay, relying solely on Idaho Code 2-208 and 2-213. This motion, like the last, should be denied. Here are the arguments. A. Defendant's allegations regarding juror bias and statements of the court during the jury selection process do not fall under the scope of Uniform Jury Selection and Service Acts. The Uniform Jury Selection and Service Act is concerned with the procedural mechanisms put in place by the court in selecting grand and trial juries. Specifically, the purpose of the act is to ensure that all persons selected for jury be selected at random from a fair cross-section of a population from an area served by the court, and that all qualified citizens have the opportunity, in accordance with this act, to be considered for jury service in the state and an obligation to serve as jurors which summon for that purpose. Idaho Code 2-202. To that end, the act prohibits discrimination against jurors on basis of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, or economic status. 202-203, emphasis added, establishes a process for appointment of a juror commissioner in the process of reimbursing the juror commissioner for the travel and other expenses. I wonder how much they get reimbursed. How much do they, in your area, how much do they pay for jury duty? Do you guys know? Is it like $10 a day, $15 a day, $20 a day? Have they raised it to $25 a day? Maybe $30 a day? Did they pay for parking? Idaho Code 2-205 establishes a procedure by which the jury lists are compiled and maintained. 2-206 sets forth a procedure by which a court must update those jury lists. 2-207 established a procedure for the court to issue a juror questionnaire and summonses. What's this word? Summonses? Summonses. Summonses. Summonses? Is that a word? Summonses. 2-208 sets forth other processes and procedures. Now the S's are fucking with me. To ensure the grand and trial juries are fairly selected from a reasonable cross-section of the community. The Act does not address, nor does it provide a remedy for individual juror bias or statements made by the court during the jury selection process. Thus, to the extent the defendant's concerns are based on allegations, see affidavit of Ann C. Taylor. I don't think we have it right because it's sealed. Such issues fall outside the scope of the Act and cannot form a basis for the defendant, for the state defendant seeks. B. Defendant's allegations regarding the exclusion of clerical information on some of the questionnaires do not fall within the scope of the Act. Defendant asserts that the court-issued questionnaire constituted a failure mechanism in drawing a grand jury pool. In support of the argument, defendant asserts that some of the questionnaires did not include certain numerical information on the top of the page. However, the information referenced by the defendant is not required by the Act, see Idaho Code 2-208. Further, this information is not even included in the model form promulgated by the Idaho Supreme Court. Thus, this issue also falls totally outside the scope of the Act. C. Defendant's suggestion that courts should maintain separate qualified jurors lists for grand jury and trial juries misread the plain language of Idaho Code 2-208. Through Ms. Taylor's affidavit, defendant argues that Idaho Code 2-208 states that all individuals must be randomly drawn from a county jury list, and the jury commissioner shall draw a requisite number of qualified juries for one or more panels or for a grand jury. Thus, the defense asserts the panel was improperly brought in as the grand jury. Later, the defense again points out that the language of the statute uses the word or between jury panels and a grand jury panel. This is a misreading of the plain language of the statute. And that's the statute right there. 2-208, emphasis added. Plainly, the word or appears because the requisite number of jurors for a misdemeanor, felony, or civil trial jury is not always the same as a requisite number for a grand jury. Nothing in the Act requires a court maintain separate lists for grand and trial juries. The court should decline to detain this misreading of the Act. Wait, where's the or at? Oh, right here. The number of qualified jurors deemed necessary for one or more grand jury panels or as required by law for a grand jury. D. As to the remainder of the defendant's allegations, he has not alleged a substantial failure to comply with the Act. Even if the defendant can factually establish that a violation occurred, defendant has not met his burden of demonstrating a substantial failure to comply with the Act. Instead, defendant asked the court to enter a stay in this case because by raising allegations of technical violations without ever explaining how any reach the substantial standard set forward in the statute, apparently inviting the court to apply a strict liability standard. But the Act does not sweep so broadly. Only a substantial failure can comply a trigger of stay. Thus, to obtain a stay, defendant cannot merely allege that a violation occurred. Defendant must allege that a substantial violation occurred. Setting aside the claims of juror bias and missing numerical information on the questionnaire forms that fall wholly outside the scope of the Act, the court has before it three issues related to the questionnaire. First, that one of the grand jurors marked a box indicating that they do not comprehend English. Second, that one of the grand jurors disclosed that they were a prior criminal defendant. And third, that one of the grand jurors did not mark whether they were a prior criminal defendant and did not sign the affirm the truth of responses. The court should dismiss out-of-hand arguments related to prior criminal history because being a prior criminal defendant does not preclude someone from sitting on a grand jury. Thus, this allegation falls outside the scope of the Act altogether. The final two allegations concern the duty of the courts to follow when the juror is not qualified to serve or when a questionnaire is not fully completed. Defendant alleges that one of the grand jurors submitted an incomplete questionnaire and suggests that this house somehow violated the Act. But the submission of incomplete form is not a violation of the Act. In fact, the Act contemplates that incomplete forms will be submitted, in which case the statute requires only the jury commissioner against the form with instructions to the prospective juror to make any necessary addition, clarification, correction, and return the form to the jury commissioner within 10 days of its second mailing. Notably, the statute requires no additional follow-up. The jury commissioner simply sends out the form a second time. That means there are problems with the defendant's incomplete form theory. First, just as with the checkbox allegation, defense affidavit does not even allege the jury commissioner failed to follow this process in response to incomplete questionnaires. Thus, defendant is not entitled to a stay. Second, even if the allegations have been made, the jury's commissioner mere failure to conduct a ministerial task of sending the questionnaire out a second time cannot accurately be described as a substantial failure to comply with the statute. So we're basically just getting a preview of Friday, right? Yeah, Friday's hearing. These are the arguments that they're going to be making on both sides. They're going to talk about the defendant's motion to stay proceedings, and what was the other one again? I forgot. I literally just read it earlier. As to the allegations that a grand juror checked a box indicating that he or she did not comprehend the English language, it is entirely accurate that an individual who actually cannot comprehend the English language is not qualified to sit on the grand jury. And the Act provides a process by which a court may determine the qualification of grand jurors, either request or upon its own initiative. Hi, Fortune. How are you doing today? How's it going? Did you hear about the mom with triplets that had to show for jury duty due to no babysitter? The mom with the triplets. Wait, really? She bought the babies? Childcare should be... Oh, that's true. I mean, honestly, I thought she should just be excused. What day is it on PS5? What? I didn't try to leave. It's not like I was trying to sneak away or anything like that. I just thought we were just done for the day. And I was like, wait, you know what? I want to read the Coburger stuff. You added to link to the Discord. Did they end up dismissing her? Honestly, though, if I were in jury duty, would I want them to provide me with a public childcare center? No, I don't know if I would trust it. I'm sorry. I wouldn't fucking trust it. I'd be like, you better fucking dismiss me. Like, if I couldn't hire a babysitter? I don't know. Or pay extra money to hire a babysitter, right? Okay. That this grand juror was presumably able to complete the questionnaire from entirely in English, not participate in the grand jury proceedings, demonstrate that the individual merely checked the wrong box of a lengthy form. Oh, so they may have accidentally checked like that they did not understand the English language, but they were able to. I mean, that happens, right? Sometimes you fuck up on the forms. I don't know. I guess someone should have double checked the forms then. More importantly, however, the defense does not even allege the administrative district court judge or designee failed to follow up on this particular questionnaire. Thus, the defendant has not alleged any violation of the Act, let alone a substantial one. Conclusion. Most of the allegations submitted by the defendant fall entirely out of the Uniform Jury Selection and Service Act. The few that remain do not factually allege a substantial failure to comply with the Act. The court should decline to indulge the defendant's already stated intention to buy more time to engage in various litigation strategies. I think that's it. Yeah. Redacted. This court is mindful that the limited courtroom capacity and potential travel restrictions may interfere with the victim's defendant's family. So I think they're gonna have the Zoom thing, right? Yeah, they're gonna have the Zoom thing. Okay. They got the Zoom thing going on. We are done with the Idaho murders for now. And then we'll be back again tomorrow. To read some more of the transcripts. We got the sidebars going on right now. And oh man, I need a stretch. You know, I don't remember. I was just proud that a mom did it. Ugh. Gutter Goblin! Oh man. Benchu is making Benchu's a funny guy. All right, let me update my Discord really quick. All right, guys, if you guys are new here, feel free, if you guys want to, join the Discord. It's a community hangout. We have a true crime section, so if you want to post anything true crime related, anything related with any of the cases I cover, you can post it in there. If there's anything you want me to look at, anything you want me to cover. But other than that, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to go stream on Twitch now. We're going to do some Baldur's Gate, I think. Yeah, we're going to do some Baldur's Gate today. I'm going to eat some lunch, do some Baldur's Gate, hang out on there. If you guys want to hang out, feel free to stop by. But if you only want to stick to true crime and cases stuff, you know, I'll see you guys tomorrow on the YouTube channel. We'll do the rest of the sidebar readings. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for chatting. Thank you for being active. I appreciate you guys keeping me busy. And if you just have me in the background, thank you as well. I appreciate you guys, you know, having me while you're multitasking and stuff like that. And I think that's about it. All right, y'all. Have a great one. Take care. I will see you tomorrow. If I don't see you later on Twitch, I will see you guys tomorrow. And here's the Discord link. You guys have the social media stuff. There's all my socials right there. Follow the Instagram. I don't care about the Twitter, though. The Twitter we don't care about. But follow the Instagram. All right, y'all. Have a great one. Take care. If you missed any part of today's stream or yesterday's stream, I am planning on editing the videos and uploading them. I think it might be a little bit time consuming though. So either watch the live streams, or if you want to wait for the video, I think I'll have it more polished. Because on day one yesterday when I was doing the reading, it was pretty unpolished. I think today we did a lot better because we had the notes and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Steve. Steve says hi. Steve says hello. All right, y'all. Have a good one. I will see y'all later. Bye, guys. Get some fresh air and give all your fur babies all the hugs and the loves from me. Bye, guys. Oh, from France. Ah, bye, Charlotte. I've always wanted to go to EU. I've never been to Europe before, but oh, I just saw these amazing pictures from Switzerland. Oh my God, how do I get to Switzerland? I hear it's really expensive to go to Switzerland though. I heard it's like, I don't know. I wanted to go back to Japan because the currency exchange is so really favorable for the Americans right now. Housework day, boo. But yeah, I want to go to Switzerland, but I don't want to, I don't know. I feel like right now, because we just lost Steve, I'm like super attached to Juror right now. And I'm just like, I just got to make sure he doesn't die. I don't know. I'm just super paranoid right now. But yeah, anyways, I don't know if we're going to be traveling anytime soon. Where's Juror, by the way? Oh my God, he is shoved all up in there. I'm going to take a picture really quick. So you guys can see. All up in there. Can y'all see that? That's his butt right there. I don't know how he's sleeping right there because it's really hot behind my computer. Ay, ay, ay. I'm going to post a picture in Discord so you guys can see it better. Oh, also, I appreciate all the pictures you guys are posting of your pets. Oh, they're so cute. You know, if you guys are in my Discord, you know, I love seeing pictures of your pets. The doggos, the scaly friends, the two-legged friends, and oh my God, what's going on over there? Yeah, Shiro is just, that guy's just being silly. Look at him. So silly guy. But yeah, post pictures of the pets and everything. All right, guys, have a great one. Take care, and I will see you all later. But oh, Shiro's moving my camera again.